I had a great session yesterday with a client of mine, Darren, who came and saw me, and we really wanted to talk about the downswing and how we load the shaft and we unload the shaft. It's something that I've referenced many times, and one of the causes for poor delivery of the golf club is poor path lines. So when Darren came in, he really had a body action that was really moving a long way past the golf ball. So his left shoulder, which as we know is the pivot point for the arm and the golf club, the more that left shoulder moves past the golf ball, that left shoulder being past the golf ball, all of a sudden, if that lever worked efficiently, just look where that golf club would be unloading. It would be unloading way too far past the golf ball. Now, because of that, Darren's downswing was getting awfully wide in the delivery phase of the golf swing. Shoulder a long way forwards, club head had to really expand, and he really got this fictitious angle of attack that was too much down. And let me just demonstrate that one again for you. So TrackMan, so shoulder was forwards, club was too wide, and we got that too aggressive angle of attack, which all of a sudden meant that Darren's ball striking was very much low on the face. So what I had to do with Darren is really start to make him appreciate where the bottom of the golf swing is going to be relative to the shoulder. So I needed to get Darren's shoulder back in line with the golf ball. Now set up, he had already started leaning the shoulder forwards. The shoulder had already got ahead because he was really preempting what was about to go on down through impact. So I pulled the shoulder back and got his left hip more in line with the shoulder. So all of a sudden, he had a much more aligned shoulder. The ear was more in line with the golf ball too. Now on the way down, because of how much pressure forwards he was getting and getting the shoulder forwards, I had to then start to change how his leg action was working. So what I started to get him to do was just to simply drag his right foot in, start making some back swings, and as he's making some down swings, he's then stepping to the right. And as he's stepping to the right, what this was doing was starting to pull the shoulder more in line at impact. Now, of course, if Darren was unloading the golf club too aggressively because he was so far forwards, this pushing the feet back and the golf club unloading too early, you can see is not going to end up well. So the next layer of information that we gave Darren was to go up to the top of the backswing, step across and move the club down in front of him. So all he's simply doing is moving the handle down. You can see nothing is changing. Not holding anything, I'm just simply moving the handle down. And because I'm quiet with my levers, I'm not changing the leverage in the golf club. I'm simply moving the handle back down underneath me. Now all of a sudden, look how much higher the club head is. I can now step across. Now I'm in a great delivery position for that golf club to start to unload in the right spot. So a great drill. We got Darren set up to a golf ball in his new setup, left shoulder, left hip more in line. Then we got him to draw his right foot closer, up to the top of the backswing, now move down into a delivery position. So he goes up to the top of the backswing, steps across and moves the club down. Now I'm in a delivery position where I feel very centered with my feet. The pressures of what feel like in this particular moment in time is 50-50. The handle is in front of my body. Now from this point, I can now start to accelerate the right side of the golf swing and now start to get that golf club to unload. Now, because Darren was so far forwards, as he moved the golf club down, he pushed off with the right foot, he moved the shoulder a long way forwards, which is why the levers then had to suck up that movement pattern to try to get the strike. But invariably, because of how much speed the golfer has, you invariably get very irregular strikes. You get thins, you get fats, not to mention balls offline. Now Darren has a good understanding of where he needs to feel in space. That step back drill is the left foot at the top of the backswing, giving a golfer an opposition force of the pull of the golf club. So I'm pulling the club and I'm pushing back with my left foot that keeps me all nicely lined up in front of the ball, to then start to, as I say, accelerate the right side. Once you now start to sense the mechanics of the upper body and the lower body starting to talk to each other, the movement down from the top of the backswing feels really quiet with the levers. I'm not holding anything, I'm simply moving the handle down in front. I've now got my left foot that's keeping my body centered for me to then start to unload the golf club at the right moment. So when you start to put that together, the sensation of how the levers start to work on the way down, the pushback of the left foot, all of a sudden start to give the golfer a good sense of where the shoulder needs to be, where the foot pressures need to go, and of course which foot is activating. The left foot is activating, offsetting the pull towards the target, towards the golf ball. The handle's moving from the right of me to the left of me, so it's moving towards the target. The handle's moving from back here to out here, towards the golf ball. You've got two movements going in that direction, one sideways and one's out. And a left foot that is now trying to oppose that, so that when I really start to amp up that pull, I can really start to amp up that left foot that keeps me back, pulls and swings the golf club, and starts to deliver the golf club in a manner that we're looking for, down, straight with the path and fairly neutral with the club face. So think about how you're setting up to the golf ball. Where is your left shoulder in relation to the golf ball? If the left shoulder's too far forwards, you're going to be in trouble. You're really going to encourage an early extension with the golf club and a casting motion on the way down. Get that shoulder and that left hip lined up. Really, really important. And then from there, you can start to change how your levers are going to start to work on the way down. It's going to feel quiet. That early motion on the way down really starts to feel quiet here. I'm moving the handle. I'm not just turning out the way, I'm moving the handle down, which means that if I was to simply move the handle down, look how the head would trail. I don't need to hold on to anything. I just need to keep the grip light and I need to move the handle down. And then from there, I can start to get the right side through the shot. Now, if you've enjoyed this content, you're going to love what's about to come your way. I'm doing some on-course strategy videos. Going to get out on the course and put all of this great swing advice into play. So do stay tuned for that. You can also become...
If you're tired of paying too much for your premium leather golf gloves, head over to gxgolfgloves.com. These are gloves trusted by tour players and elite amateurs alike. Use my code GOODCOACHING to receive 10% off your next order. Go try them out. You won't be disappointed.
I'm a member of the channel, $4.99 a month. You will get advanced viewing of these videos. You'll get premium viewing ahead of the release date. So do check that out too. And if you want to have a private one-on-one lesson with me, you can check me out on Skillist, where I offer remote coaching. Hit the link in the description for that as well. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you supporting my channel. Do consider subscribing while you're here. And that, my friends, is good coaching.